Lindsey is a brand identity designer with over 20 years of experience. You'd never know that. I tell you she's 20 years of experience. Come on. Crafting bold, handcrafted lettering and illustration for clients like Nickelodeon, Hasbro, and NCAA. Rooted in both artistry and faith, her design work connects brands with a purpose. Please welcome Lindsey Meredith.
Thank you.
Hey, Adamar.
That's okay.
I'm
No
so
worries.
sorry.
It's okay. No worries. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you for the conference. Thank you for inviting me, Jeremy. Awesome job, Shane. I'm a little bit angry that I'm going second, and now I have to go after a beautiful orator such as yourself. So this is going to be a lot clunkier, guys, so bear with me. So as Jeremy said, I'm Lindsey Meredith. I live in Dayton, Ohio, or specifically Miamisburg. I'm a brand designer and illustrator. I just recently switched roles where I'm going full-time on my own. I'm also an instructor at an awesome little small design college in Dayton, Ohio called the Modern College of Design, so I teach adjunct there as well. Yes, the Modern's awesome. Yes, we have an associate's program and a bachelor's program, very intimate and awesome program. So today I just want to share a little bit of my journey, both in my faith and in my creativity, and where I'm at now, and some hard things, and then just how God is awesome. So first I thought I'd introduce a little on a personal side. My family's here with me, my husband and my two awesome kids. They're my world. They are just everything that fuel me and everything that I do. Fun little note, my husband and I say that lightly because I only did about 15 to 20% of the work, built me a little studio in our backyard. I did some drywall work. I did some insulation work. So I'm a professional in that now too. No, just joking. Obviously in some painting and stuff like that. My commute is terrible. Like it's absolutely horrible. And there's also some chickens that hang out with me in the backyard. That's my husband's hobby back there. But I really want to share my background. This is a huge part of my story, guys. I was raised by a father who is awesome and who I got to see his journey as a creative. He is a pinstriper and sign maker in the Dayton area. And so he's been doing it since the 70s. He band murals, you know, the stripes, the classic flames, all the things you see up there. That's his little signature there with the sword. We'll get back to that here in a second. My childhood was being in the garage with him loading up a palette for me, letting me be creative and just getting to watch him. And then riding in his Bronco too, going to garages and body shops. Some of my childhood core memories are air guns and the smell of lacquer thinner and listening to Van Halen. And so, I mean, this was 80s, right? And so sitting in his car, playing my Game Boy, and I have to be specific here, green screen Game Boy. Game Boy where the bonus accessories you got were a magnifying glass and a light because, you know, so I'm dating myself here. Yeah. So there I am. And I don't know why I look so mad in that picture off to the right, wearing an airbrushed shirt that my dad was probably making me do, but there I am happy painting in the garage. So that was my childhood. We're going to circle back to that because that's a big part of my story other than the creative. Where did my love for design come? I was a creative, didn't really know what design was when I was little, but I fell in love with 3 logos. And these were, yeah, 3 logos. Yeah, I was a very unconventional girl that instead of playing with ponies, I was drawing these logos right here. This was the heyday of the 90s and Jordan and new teams like the Magic and Raptors. And I love sports. I loved sports. I fell in love with this. And I would draw these until I had them memorized. And I loved drawing animals and seeing animals integrated with logos. I think that's where, without me even realizing, I fell in love with logo design. So here's some of my cool sketches as a kid. You know, I did draw some normal things maybe other girls were drawing, like Lion King, but other than that, you know, aliens holding basketballs and my shoe, my Penny Hardaways, any logo that had animals in it. So that really got me going, guys. So my journey, I'm not going to go over this verbatim. Obviously, at some point when you're creative, I think a lot of us could say that we're like, what do I do? Okay, I become a designer. So I went to design school, had some first job screen printing shop, awesome. Suffered through some layoffs. You know, it wasn't back in '08, things got a little bit tight there, freelanced. Then I started instructing. That kind of fell on my lap. I didn't really think I ever wanted to be an instructor. So I did that and then worked at a cool agency in the Dayton area called Real Art for a while. And then as I was raising a family, teaching at the wonderful Modern College of Design, adjunct instructing, and always freelancing on the side, really working hard at that, But now here I am, back adjunct and trying to start my own business, and it's hard. So I'm going to share some of that as well. But what I will get to eventually after sharing a little bit of my work is what matters most. And I think Shane, hit on some of this. We're in this constant battle of that, right? And I saw it's even in the verbiage for the conference. But for me, it's the battle of finding balance as a passionate creative. And who loves her creator, but surely gets distracted. These are some brand elements that I created this year, just kind of get me amped up. This is 2025 is kind of my first official year of going back and trying to start my own creative business. My style is all over the place. I can do normal stuff, but I really get into weird stuff, like a rabbit with 3 eyes. But these are some graphics I made for myself. But I thought I'd share a little bit of my work, lots of logo design. I've had awesome opportunities to work with some big brands, some awesome studios and agencies. I'm always trying to work my hand lettering and kind of leverage that for what I offer in my services. Worked with, sometimes I'm doing work for studios and agencies. Sometimes I've networked through LinkedIn. I've done some work for Nickelodeon directly, Hasbro, Leapfrog. Really awesome opportunities through the years. So I was just going to share some of my work. Here's a few things that I've done, the things I just mentioned. As we know, and we were talking about this a little bit last night, some of the stuff you do doesn't even end up coming into fruition, like that Nickelodeon React to that. But all the other things here, like I said, I just have so much fun illustrating and bringing all these awesome things to life for clients. One I like to share, this one's a little over 10 years old. The one that, I feel like I did a few projects for Nickelodeon, and some of them died or just got killed, or my option didn't get chosen. But this one was a show called Welcome to the Wayne that was Nickelodeon had for a while. And this was one I actually, this is my first, oh my gosh, I'm seeing it on TV, I'm seeing it on screens. Unfortunately, the show died in 2019, but I got to do and work with them on this custom lettered logo. More recently, I got to create the logo for the Omaha Supernovas. It's a brand new professional women's volleyball team, and I got to hand letter that. So I've been getting to see them use that quite well, and super exciting. Just women's sports is just taking off and doing some awesome things right now. Seeing it on a Jumbotron, seeing it in big stadiums, it's pretty exciting for me. I also worked on a men's pro volleyball league logo. This one was a little bit of a smaller budget one, but it was still awesome to work with these guys and put that together. Then, this is my favorite part. I have so much work, guys, that I've done that I'm not allowed to show. And that, darn it. I think, okay, we can all relate. It stinks. But here's what I'm going to say. Ask me later. And I touched one of the logos of those 3 that I obsessed over in elementary school. I touched it. Okay, ask me later. So getting back into business, I'm really kind of having to kind of create the work that I want to get work doing. I'm switching gears a little bit and having to get back in front of people. So kind of some of these are passion projects. I think literally this is what got me this gig right here. Jeremy like this pickleball logo I did. It's actually just a fictional project that I did. I was like, I want to do stuff for pickleball teams, so I made it. So I thought, what's really BA? A robin. I was looking at a robin one day, and I was like, they're kind of like a BA bird. They're just looking around, looking for worms, and they get up early. So early bird, get the court, get on there, play some pickleball. Made sense to me. And then right now I have a kind of a challenge going on to first off, get content out, because guys, I'm playing that game on social media, trying to get the attention, and just challenge myself to make little sprints of brand design. So I did Jarhead, Pickle Cart, and I've been kind of doing that on social to get my work out there. But let's get back to what's important, the battle for balance. On my website, I've always had Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all of your heart, as if working for the Lord, not for human masters. Don't get this right all the time, but I feel like if I'm always keeping God in my heart and just a focus on Him, even if I'm doing work for clients, that's what matters most. That's what's going to make me work the hardest for my client. Have an opportunity to, in that relationship, form something that's more meaningful than just my work and making money. So that's always been on my website. But battles that I think we all face, and I can definitely say that I do, is performance being my value, right? How am I performing? How am I stacking up? Feeling behind and failure, that's huge for me right now. I mean, I've already aged myself, right? And so I'm trying to get back at this thing, and it's hard. And I've obviously done some really awesome things I'm not allowed to show, and trying to get attention over here, like that can be a battle. Anxiety, guys, I have anxiety. Like who doesn't? But I got it pretty good. So that's the what ifs are up in here all the time. Control, busyness. I have a family, trying to do this thing. It's a lot. And then sometimes getting obsessed with earthly rewards of wanting to make all the money, which, as we know, doesn't always happen in design. But reminders to counter those. My identity is him. His timing and plan are perfect. He offers peace beyond understanding. I don't tap into that nearly like I should. He will make your path straight. He offers rest, and our reward is not here. Okay, this is I didn't think I was gonna get emotional. Circling back to my dad. Ephesians 6:17 is tattooed on my arm along with my dad's sword. And take up the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Around the time that I was telling you guys about being with my dad, he was coming out of a battle of addiction. And that had a huge, profound impact on my life. I feel like God had entered in my heart as a young kid and just took a foundation. Even though I'm just all over the place, I'm tethered to him. And seeing the way he worked in my dad's life and the way he was transformed was huge. And so that's why this tattoo is on my arm. And his little sword, that's what he puts on all of his cars. When he was coming out of that battle, he had attached this scripture to it. Be still. I think this is one of my absolute favorite scriptures, simply because of how just these two words and the part of it, like be still and know that I am God. I'm in control. I stink at this, guys. I'm so bad at it. It gets noisy up in here. So that's what I'll end on. That's where I'm at in my life. God has just blessed me so much. Things are uncertain sometimes, but I always know He is trustworthy. So thank you. I look forward to talking to all of you, and I hope to connect outside if we don't have a chance to talk here. But thank you so much for listening.